What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another daily Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with today's update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel, as I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day with all the latest City transfer news here on YouTube. So don't forget to subscribe, it is free. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on today's update, once more aiming for 300 likes, and don't forget as well to get your thoughts in the comments below. So we've got some contract news, and following on from the news about Ruben Diaz being set to sign a new contract at Manchester City, we've got the very latest now on Rodri. ESPN have said that Ruben Diaz, with him now being set to sign a new long-term contract at Manchester City, City are going to be turning their focus towards trying to get Rodri and Phil Foden onto new long-term contracts as well. I've heard some murmurs about City also working on a new contract for Rico Lewis. Now, Fabrizio Romano has said that Manchester City have a contract ready for Rodri to make him the second highest earner at Manchester City behind Erling Haaland. Fabrizio Romano has said that Rodri's preference is to stay at Manchester City rather than join Real Madrid at any one point. And that's only if Real Madrid, of course, come in with an offer. Real Madrid have been heavily linked with making a move to try and prize Rodri away from the club. I imagine Rodri has probably taken some time to consider what his options potentially could be. And obviously with the actions of what happened at the Ballon d'Or, that may have influenced what he's thinking. At the moment, I'd say that Rodri has a lot of love and appreciation for Manchester City, and that goes a long way in deciding what players' next steps may be. So it's right now the focus about City trying to work on getting Rodri onto that new contract. Now, Fabrizio Romano has said that Manchester City plan to offer Rodri a new 4-year contract until June of 2029. So that would be a 2-year extension to his current deal, which expires in June of 2027. If Rodri does agree to that contract and signs, it would keep Rodri at Manchester City until he is at least 33 years old, and more importantly, it would keep him away from Real Madrid's clutches and keep him in the famous sky blue of Manchester City. As I said, he'd end up being Man City's second highest earner. City have got that space now available on their wage structure, in particular with Man City deciding to let Kevin De Bruyne go rather than give him an additional contract extension, which for me, I think Man City just looking at ways to try and help manage their books basically, and their wage structure. They've looked to try and find a bit of space onto that wage structure, and in doing so, whilst working on new contracts and potential pay rises for the likes of Phil Foden and Ruben Diaz, it means that Man City just have to try and find a way to make it work, with Rodri obviously getting a pay increase as well, which means one of the highest earners at City would probably have to leave, and we've already had that with Kevin De Bruyne. So from finance and a financial point of view for the club, it makes a lot of sense for City to decide to do what they're potentially going to do here, which is obviously Kevin De Bruyne will leave and Rodri's going to continue to work his way up the pay scale, and obviously now he's going to be on a wage similar, maybe even more than that of what Kevin De Bruyne is on at Manchester City, but Erling Haaland going to remain the highest earner at Manchester City, even if Rodri does sign this new contract. So hopefully sooner rather than later we can get Rodri onto that new contract, and I would say that getting Rodri onto a new contract and keeping him away from Real Madrid and keeping him at Manchester City would be one of the best bits of business that Manchester City could get sorted in this summer transfer window. Now, moving on to the out, we've got the very latest on Max Alleyne, and The Athletic have said that Swansea City and Watford have both made loan offers to Manchester City to try and bring in Max Alleyne on loan. Apparently, Max Alleyne also has some options coming in from unnamed European clubs as well. Nothing has been decided as of yet. Manchester City do want Max Alleyne to sign a new contract first and then decide about where he is going to go out on loan. City do normally, when it comes to academy players and they go down the route of getting them onto a new contract and then loaning them out, they tend to try and get both of these sorted before they put an official announcement out there. So I presume that the delay here in this new contract is Man City just trying to work out where they want Max Alleyne to spend the next upcoming season. Now, moving on, we've got the very latest on Claudio Echeverri, and dare I suggest maybe this is becoming a little bit of a saga, because we've had one suggestion followed by a second suggestion, and today we've got a third suggestion about what could happen with Claudio Echeverri. Now, Corriere dello Sport have said that AS Roma, who were the first club to make an offer to Manchester City on loan, wanted a purchase option including on that transfer. And we've had some details about this purchase option. So, AS Roma wanted a €33 million option to buy including in this loan, which is £28.66 million as part of a potential permanent sale by Manchester City. City would be including a buyback clause, which AS Roma were happy to include on the deal, which would be worth €40 million or £34.74 million. Manchester City brought Claudio Echeverri in from River Plate over in Argentina back in 2024 for £12.5 million with around £5 to £7 million in add-ons, which I presume haven't been met as of yet because Echeverri's just not been at Manchester City long enough, and Manchester City now face a potential non-homegrown problem where they need the non-homegrown youngsters to leave the club to go and get some much needed experience, while City can try and look to overhaul their squad some more over the next 12 months. So it's believed that Claudio Echeverri is going to be loaned out. City are not keen on this transfer with AS Roma and this option to buy, so that takes us through option 1 and takes us through to option 2, and Manchester City wanted to send Claudio Echeverri on loan to Girona instead, and because City aren't keen on this permanent transfer potentially being included on a loan, Man City preferred just for a straight loan and wanted him to go to Girona. However, the problem with this is I don't believe that Claudio Echeverri or his camp believe that that is best for his development right now, and they're not interested in Claudio Echeverri going on loan to Girona. And we were speaking last week about there maybe being the potential for Claudio Echeverri to spend the season around the City first team squad, which he would be able to play all domestic games for Manchester City. There's no problem because of his age, that can happen, but there would be some problems about him being included in the Champions League squad because he doesn't meet the criteria to go on to the Champions League B squad. And when it comes to the Champions League A squad, Man City have too many non-homegrown players. It means we'd have to sell some senior first team players to bring Echeverri in, which City will be looking to do so, but I think City regard it as too soon, and that would come in probably 12 months time rather than right now. So Man City want him to go out on loan, and I don't think he's going to be staying at City. I'd be surprised if Echeverri is still at Manchester City come September 2nd, the day after transfer deadline day. So, and this takes us on to now option 3 from today. The Athletic have said that Claudio Echeverri, because he's not so keen on a move to Girona on loan and he can't get his move to AS Roma that he would like to stay in England, he would like to learn the Premier League, and he'd like to go on loan to another Premier League team, which I've heard worse shouts out there. Again, we go back to the AS Roma problem though. If there are to be Premier League clubs interested in Claudio Echeverri on loan, they're probably going to want a purchase option included, because that's going to encourage these teams that are potentially interested in bringing Echeverri in, that they're going to be able to profit and make some money. And I actually don't think that Roma's proposal that they put forward to City is that bad of a deal. They pay us £28 million. We have to pay them £34 million to bring him back. There's a difference of £6 million over the next 12 to 24 months, and Echeverri gets his valuable experience, and that would be of perfect aid for Manchester City. So, are they going to want to go down that route of going on a Premier League loan? I presume City aren't interested in any purchase options including on it, so because of that, when it comes to just a straight-up loan, no purchase options, where's Echeverri going to go? Because some of the bigger Premier League teams, I don't think I'd recommend him going out on loan there, because I don't think they're going to want to utilise aiding the progress of a Manchester City player. So you'd have to look towards the bottom end of the Premier League. I'm looking towards teams who may be struggling towards the relegation zone, or teams that are newly promoted who may have more of an opportunity and more availability for Echeverri to continue his development. But Echeverri's already confirmed that he wants to be playing in the Europa League or in the Champions League. So if that is the case and he wants to go on loan to a Champions League or a Europa League team in the Premier League, his options are fairly limited, because I can't see any Man City being keen on sending him on loan to any rival club, and I just can't see any of them clubs wanting to use Echeverri for Man City's game basically in 12 months time. So this is a very complex situation, and as I suggested at the start of me speaking about Claudio Echeverri in this little section on this transfer update, I'm starting to think this is a potential little saga about what actually is going to happen with Claudio Echeverri, and there is the potential that he could stay at Manchester City, but if that is to be the case, I don't think he'd be registered to play in the Champions League, certainly not for the Champions League format from running from September through to the end of January, so we'll see what does happen with regard to that. If I'll put that to you guys, actually. Claudio Echeverri, what do you think? What do you make of the situation? Do let me know in the comments below. So that has been today's transfer update. As I said, do get your thoughts in the comments below. Rodri, happy with the news about him potentially signing a new 4-year contract? I'm sure you guys are. Echeverri, what would you do? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. We are aiming now for 46,000 subscribers, now less than 300 subs away, so any help towards that, guys, would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, and I'll see you all again real soon for the next one. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.